So since we got to the fight week of one of the most fights I've been excited for, to be honest, in my lifetime, I'm not gonna lie, the Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk fight. In this fight, Anthony Joshua put his WBA Super, IBF, WBO, and IBO heavyweight titles against former WBC, WBA Super, IBF, WBO, Ring Magazine, and lineal cruiserweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk. In this part of the video, I will discuss what Usyk needs to do to beat Anthony Joshua. I'll be making a similar video for what Joshua needs to do to beat Oleksandr Usyk. First of all, let's discuss Oleksandr Usyk's journey to this point. As you all know, Oleksandr Usyk was the former undisputed cruiserweight champion. He's the only cruiserweight in history to hold all four belts at this division. He had a stellar career, was a gold medalist in the 2012 Olympics. Started out his career with 9 quick KOs, then fought Krzysztof Glowacki. Krzysztof Glowacki was just coming off beating long-time reigning, and actually he's the most of all time, Marco Huck. He was WO champion he had 13 title defenses. He has the record with Johnny Oleksandr for the most title defenses in the cruiserweight division. And Krzysztof Glowacki stopped Huck in 11 rounds. Then Oleksandr Usyk dominated Krzysztof Glowacki from pillar to post. I thought he won every single round, and a lot of people agreed. Then, in his very first title defense, he beat tough, I believe South African, but let me make sure. I don't want to get this wrong. Yes, South African contender Thabiso Machuni. Thabiso Machuni is currently ranked number 4 in the cruiserweight division. When he took on Oleksandr Usyk, it was back in 2016. Thabiso Machuni, at that time, his best win was probably a win over Eddie Chambers, heavyweight contender. Oleksandr Usyk dominated the fight, dropped Machoni in round 6, then dropped him 2 more times in round 9 to get the KO. In his very next fight, he beat heavyweight contender, at the time it was cruiserweight contender, Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter won the first 3 rounds, but then Oleksandr Usyk came on very strong and almost stopped in round 12. The referee counted the knockdown, which really should have been stopped. He should have been stopped in round 12, but the referee let it continue. Then Oleksandr Usyk, along with all the other top cruiserweights, participated in the World Boxing Series tournament for the Muhammad Ali Trophy. In the very first fight, he fought former long-time reigning champion Marco Huck in Marco Huck's hometown in Germany. Beat Marco Huck in round 10, stopped him. Then in his next fight, he unified his WBO title with Maurice Bradis' WBC title in Latvia, in Maurice Bradis' hometown. It was probably his most toughest fight to date. Some people thought Maurice Bradis won the fight, but I thought Oleksandr Usyk deserved the decision. I personally gave him 8 rounds. 2 judges had it for Usyk 7-5, and 1 judge had it a draw. And then in his next fight, to unify all the titles, the WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, Ring Magazine, and lineal, he faced Murat Gasayev. Murat Gasayev had 26 wins with no losses, 19 knockouts, was known as a very hard puncher. And Usyk also went to his hometown in Moscow, where he won every single round. 1 judge gave him every single round, and 2 judges only had him lose in 1 round. And then in his next fight, there was only 1 person that claimed to still have a piece of the cruiserweight title. It was, you guessed it, Tony Bellew, coming off stopping David Haye back-to-back times, and really has had, before that he stopped Matt Kabu, his best win of his career, in my opinion. Tony Bellew had a lot of momentum, so did Oleksandr Usyk. Tony Bellew was the WBC Demetrius champion, or I think WBC champion in recess, because he moved up to heavyweight and vacated his title, but the WBC guaranteed him an immediate crack at the title whenever he wanted to move back down. And Tony Bellew claimed that he still was the rightful WBC champion. Usyk wanted to leave no doubt and challenge Tony Bellew, also in his hometown in Manchester. I think he's from Liverpool, but he did fight in the UK, so it's in his hometown. In the first 2 rounds, Tony Bellew was outboxed into Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk was really just gauging the distance, gauging the range, which you could tell he was about to come off. Rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, he was methodically breaking down Tony Bellew, and then he stopped him in brutal fashion around 8, knocking him out. Almost called. Yeah, he did not come out called, by Tony Bellew tried to get back up, but failed. Then he had his heavyweight debut in the United States against former heavyweight contender Chaz Witherspoon. He dominated Chaz Witherspoon for 7 rounds, and Chaz Witherspoon quit in round 7. Then he fought his most recent fight. Some people say it's the toughest fight. Watching it live, I did think it was tough. Rewatching it, I'm gonna have to put my hands up and say that Oleksandr Usyk won the fight clearly over Derek Chisora. Watching it live, I don't know why I thought Chisora won the fight. I don't even know why. Maybe because I'm a Chisora fan. I'm not gonna lie. My 2 favorite fighters are Derek Chisora and David Benavidez. Maybe watching it live, I was biased, and I apologize to anyone that took it personally. But what's his name? Oleksandr Usyk had a shaky first 2 rounds, but then dominated him for the last 10. I had it 9 rounds to 3, 10 rounds to 2, rewatching it. And now let's talk about what Oleksandr Usyk needs to do to beat Anthony Joshua. I think Oleksandr Usyk needs to really has to do with Joshua. What Joshua's going to try to do. If Joshua's going to try to attack, just move, jab on the outside. Joshua cannot pressure you like Chisora did. But if Joshua wants to find the outside like how he did against Ruiz, you got to put pressure on him. Because Oleksandr Usyk, he can pressure you without even punching. And so he has to do that. And I think that either way, if he moves and runs and jabs, I think he can outbox Joshua to a decision. And if he goes at Joshua and pressures him, I think Joshua can run out of stamina and he can stop Joshua mid to late rounds. So those are the 2 game plans, in my opinion, of what Usyk has to do. Just really, it's all has to do with Joshua. If Joshua is going to try to come at him, he can't pressure him like Chisora can. And if Joshua is going to try to run, move and jab, he needs to get at him, pressure him like how he did against Tony Bellew, pressure him like how he did in rounds 7 and 8 against Derek Chisora. And maybe he could get Joshua out of there mid to late rounds. Because Joshua does not have the best gas tank in the world. Let me know in the comments below what you think Usyk should do to win the fight. And what chance do you give Usyk to win the fight? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video. It's Sadiq Boxing out.